So you're trying to figure out whether you should have an inspection prior to selling your home or not. Today, I really want to talk to you about the inspection. Inspections are one of those things that just kind of come up as a surprise. But let me tell you about inspections. I usually suggest to my sellers that they have an inspection. I know it's an expense in this part of the country. In our area, a whole house inspection can run about between $500 and $600 for termite, for radon, and for whole house inspection. Sewer line inspection is about $223. So all in all, you get some really thorough inspections done for well under $1,000. Now, why would you do it? All right, usually the buyer pays for the inspection. Oftentimes a lender wants to see the inspection report, especially if there are termites in the area. They will want to see the termite report. Why would the seller even want to bother? Well, there's a really good reason why a seller would bother doing that. Number one is awareness of where the property is at, and you don't want any nasty surprises. If your house right now has termites, you're better off dealing with it up front, because you can be absolutely sure that you will not be able to sell that house unless that treatment is done. The buyer will demand it, the bank will demand it, and then you're just stuck. And if you've already purchased another piece of property and you need every cent out of the one that you are selling, you might as well know it up front. There are other things like electrical panels. I've seen those double wired. Well, that's no longer allowed. So now you have to call an electrician and get that taken care of. There may be any number of other things. The roof, how old is the roof? Is it leaking? Is the other shingles missing? Is the sewer line plugged up? Does it have some weird kind of sewer line issue going on, like they have it in Cedar Rapids? All kinds of things like that can pop up. So you might as well know up front what you are facing. So I suggest to my sellers, always have an inspection. You can offer that to your buyer and say, we have made all this inspection effort so that we know exactly if there's something in the house that needs to be taken care of. I had one case where the walls in the house were bowing. The surrounding area was compressing on the walls, and they started to come in. Well, it cost $10,000 to get that repaired. My people, my sellers, had to fork that money over because the buyer would not come to the table with their money if that foundation was not proper. So in addition to that, if you find out in time that something needs to be addressed, like let's say you don't have a radon mitigation system in your basement, and right now it's the big thing in Iowa is everybody's putting in radon mitigation systems. They can run $1,800, $1,600, $2,200, $2,500 depending on what they have to do. You are in a much, much better position to negotiate your price when you are not under the gun. You will be under the gun once you have an offer. Once your house is on the market, you've done all this work to make it beautiful, to make it appealing, to make it approachable. You find yourself a buyer, and now you got to deal with this. So I always tell people, just deal with it ahead of time. It'll be cheaper for an electrician. It'll be cheaper for any other kind of remedy that needs to be taken care of. Now, there are some things that are a must that have to be taken care of. Those are called safety. There would be safety and structural issues. So like, for example, in my basement thing, there was a structural issue. What were my sellers going to do? It just had to be done. So, but it could be something, safety stuff, like GFCI outlets in the kitchen where the water's close, in the laundry room, that kind of thing. You know, there was a time we didn't have those. Now, the code is that you have to have GFCIs pretty much in the entire kitchen, but most definitely really close to where the closest ones that are to a water source. So you'll be able to negotiate a better plumber. Like, you know, one of the things I see all the time is these gooseneck things that have to be put in for a dishwasher. So yeah, I think that it's a good idea to have that inspection because it'll pay for itself having it done ahead of time. So it protects you. It also protects the buyer. You can offer that inspection to the buyer and say, we've done our due diligence. We fixed everything that the inspection found was not done properly or needed to be brought up to code, you're more than welcome to use this inspection. It'll save you a little money and it's just better for you, trust me. And then another thing on inspection. I know that a lot of agents don't go to inspections with their buyers. I always go to inspections. Why? Why do I do that? It isn't just because I want to be a good agent. It's because I want to know more about what's going on inside of any house that I either have part in purchasing with a client or part in selling with a client. I want to be there when that inspector is done. All of the things that he found in the house are now fresh in his mind. If I am there, he can take me to that outlet and he can say, Sanja, this outlet needs to be replaced. Or, Sanja, the seal is broken on this window. Let me show you what that means and why it probably needs to be replaced. It's cosmetic, however, it is an issue. All right, so what I can address in a remedy request are things that are structural and things that are safety. So you can't sell your house without having these things corrected, and the buyer will demand it. So you're looking at having that taken care of. Like the paint, not necessary. I mean, it's not going to be red knob. However, it may reduce the amount of money that your buyer is offering for the house. So in every respect, I feel that an inspection either by the seller is a wise move, and it is a wise move most definitely by the buyer. As a matter of fact, in some institutions, the buyer may not be able to get away without the inspection. And they will be forced by the bank because the bank will want the report on what's going on with the house. They'll want to know how old the roof is. They'll want to know all that kind of stuff. You know, a water heater is $1,800 right now in 2024. If your water heater is older than 10, 11 years, you're looking at replacing a water heater. It just is what it is. So do yourself a favor and have your home inspected, whether you're a seller or a buyer. It'll save you money. It'll save you trouble in the future. I do want to talk to you about insurance that a buyer can purchase to protect themselves from broken down appliances, but that's going to be another video. I don't want to do that right now. However, that is an option, and I think for especially if you're a first-time home buyer, having that insurance in place gives you peace of mind not to have your appliances and your mechanicals collapse and quit working, and then here you are, now you need to replace a new furnace. You get $5,000 for that, so no good. So I will want to talk to you about that, and I will always want to offer that to you. So anyway, I'm Sanja Hunt, and I'm a local real estate agent. All my information is at the tail end of this video. And I did not write up a list today. It's unnecessary because it's really all about house awareness and knowing what kind of expenses you might be facing either when you sell or when you purchase. Your inspection report is like a guide to what you should anticipate that needs to be taken care of in the house that you're moving into, or what kind of expenses you're looking at when you sell a house that's going to be taken off right off the bottom line of your proceeds. So do yourself a favor, call me if you have more questions about it. I've been to a lot of inspections. As a matter of fact, I have been to every single one. When I sold a house or I listed a house, I always meet with the inspector. It's just really, really good business and good practice. So, like I say, teamwork makes the dream work, and inspectors are part of my team, and I always go ask for advice from them. So, have a productive day. Call me if you need anything. I would be absolutely delighted to help you. Thanks.